French is the language of love. Oh, say it again, Dexter.
You taste the delights. You salty sights.
Well, hello everybody and welcome along to the Formula Fun podcast for our testing review 2019. And I think we finally have a perfect intro for this show. That was the man himself, Rage, who is alongside me today doing his beautiful French accent. How are you today?
I only just realised, right, that the French accent only plays on your stream, not mine. But
yeah,
anyway, I
need
to do it too.
Yeah, you'd have to turn the speakers on TeamViewer.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Well, sorry you missed that. But yes, I'm absolutely fabulous, as always. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. It's the end of the week and we can look over some F1 cars. Can't be a better end to the week than that. Well, there's probably a few, but...
Well...
you know, we'll take this.
Yeah.
So testing is at an end. We are now 2 weeks away from the official start of the 2019 season. Has it got you?
Excited?
Yeah, has it got you rolled up?
Oh, so excited!
I say this. I feel I say this every year, but I feel this could be an incredible season. The one to come. I really do.
It's more incredible season than normal.
Yeah, well, I mean, last year never really lived up to the expectation, did it?
Not so much. No, it was a bit of a humdrum experience.
Yeah, sort of petered out thanks to Ferrari, but I feel we've got potentially 3 teams that can fight for this world title. Some appreciation from Fox and Hardy of the accent and the meme.
No, scissor sides.
Don't bring that blasphemy in here, Fox. We're not talking about IndyCar, I'm afraid. This is a Formula Fun podcast. There is only one formula that matters today.
Unfortunately. Leave that on the door with Ericsson's career.
Ooh, cutting.
No.
Well, that is his career, isn't it? IndyCar now. So I guess a little bit about what we're going to go over today. We're going to take another delve through some testing photos, look for any updates or anything we missed last time, or just appreciate these cars on the track.
Did some go round pretty fast?
Some did go round. Some did crash. And since last time, there's been reported that there's been a fire.
Oh, there's been a fire!
We have the full house.
We got the full house. Some went round, some went not at all, some faster than others, and there's been a fire!
I mean, this testing's had its all.
It's literally had us all on our edge of the seats. There's been controversies of not showing the second test and people getting all up in arms because they can't see the second test. And there's been fires, there's been crashes, there's been failures, there's been strange rumours of vibrations. But hey,
I'm sure we'll get all into the nooks and crannies of that.
Get into the crannies of your vibrations.
Oh, that's saucy. Formula One saucy.
What are we going to have a look at? Formula One sauce. What are we going to have a look at first?
I don't know. So you found this lovely image page. This comes courtesy of motorsportimages.com. We're a tiny channel, so come at us if there's a copyright issue with that.
Come at us, boys.
Come at us. So let's switch over to that now. And we can go for any. We've got 3,000 here.
3,000 images from the 2019 test.
Indeed. So,
should we start off from, say, the bottom boys and work our way up? Or do you want to start from the big boys and work our way down?
We can start with the bottom boys. I mean, this is, as usual, very unprepared.
Of course.
We don't really know what we're...
podcast if it wasn't unprepared.
No, exactly. We've got 3,000 images to try and find changes. Can we not filter by? Oh, hello.
Yeah, you can filter by driver, by
team.
there
we go. That's what we
I said.
want.
This is very, very useful tool.
Oh, this is the future.
This is the future.
Okay, shall we start with the rarest of beasts?
Oh,
and that is
Sorry, I didn't realise it was going to pop open a separate image.
I didn't know it was going to do it this way. As I say, copyright might be an issue here, but thank you very much to Andy Hone at LAT Images. I'm sure there's going to be a problem here, but anyway, we'll go with it.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Yeah,
we love you.
we thank you.
We like your work.
I'm sure he's
I
got
mean-
a Twitter or a website. Go and say thank you.
Terribly sorry, Andy. Terribly sorry. Don't sue.
I'm sure most images are paid a lot for all of these. You know. At the end of the day, we're not running ads. We're not being paid anything.
We're not making any money.
This is fair
all
use,
fine.
right?
It's fair use. It is fair use.
It is fair
I will
use.
stand by it. It's fair use.
Yeah, we're gonna go with it. It's fair use.
Yeah. Why not?
So here is the Williams. Unfortunately, we've got this big, big mark in front of it. That's yeah. And it looks quite well. I think we were all surprised when we saw it out on track. It actually looks nicer than it did in that very dimly lit launch from the 1980s.
Welcome to the conference centre.
We're so poor at Williams, we can't even afford to turn on the lights. But it looks nice, doesn't it? This livery.
On the track, it actually does look a lot nicer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a nice livery or on track. Is there sort of side that does it a bit more justice? Should we get rid of some of this?
Sorry, I got a little bit over.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. So yeah, it's a nice looking livery. We've got some very fat side pods here. Some nice channel under area. But it's still quite your basic bitch of a Formula One car, isn't it?
She is. You get a good angle here actually. You get a nice little angle here. A nice angle with this side pod here that sucks in air, tucks it in down here. That's a nice angle. You can see there where on the old Rexina or whatever the hell it is.
Well, that's a chub and tuck if ever I've seen one.
That's a little chub and tuck right there. Little chub here. Little chub. I can't write sideways.
I mean, why are you trying to write sideways? That's limited enough by these tools without you handicapping yourself more.
Very basic. This I guess is the first on track. We didn't do analysis of this one because we couldn't see it, could we? I think
Not really,
previously.
and we still didn't know what was going to be brought to track.
Well, all we saw was the pre-race spec. No, we just saw the 2018 body with the 2019 wings attached, didn't we? I think that's what we saw in the launch.
Yeah, so similar to Haas, which I was told afterwards was actually the same that we saw there.
So these are, I think the wing is very similar like this. So it's very mixed between the Ferraris and the Mercedes wing, where they're almost not using anything here at all. And they're trying to outwash over the top here and into their side pods, which is quite good. So they've done a mix of both.
Yeah, they're keeping
I
these
can't
very,
see-
very shallow
Yeah,
and then really
Yeah.
raking them up over.
but good. Yeah, like you say, basic bitch.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But we're not massively here to see the cars again, because we've done that in great detail.
We
We're here to see changes.
changes, developments.
So, I guess the main one you wanted to talk about is that a lot of people calling it the... Oh, no, I don't want Mercedes and Williams.
Oh god, you can actually do that.
I
You can
know,
actually
this
specify
site's
both.
amazing.
It's very good. So yeah, if we, I was going to refer, if we can find a good frontal picture, and then I'll refer you to another picture if that's okay.
Okay, so we want an old frontal picture.
No. We can have a new frontal picture,
Okay.
new front picture.
This one looks pretty good. Fox
That's
says, I don't
very
know the
good.
law in the UK, but it's probably fair use in the US. Okay, so we'll just move if we have to.
So if you could go to one of your tabs up here, or I gave you a second thingy. One sec. Oh goodness,
Did you now?
I did. One sec. I'll just have a look in my old.
I only got one link. Oh, you did send me a second one.
I did send you a second one. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Greenie. Right. Cool. There we go. So we could go to this one.
This one here. Okay.
Yes.
This comes
we
courtesy
go.
of motorsport.co.uk.
So we'll stick
.com.
with this one first because we can see a little bit what's happening with the wings. So it's cool that they brought in a whole new wing. Lots of people shouting that it's a B spec car, which I highly doubt that it's B spec car.
A
But
B
there are
spec
some-
car is radically different in every possible way.
B-spec car would normally suggest that it's a completely different chassis, though, right? But I wouldn't say this is a B-spec car. It's just a normal car with some new bits on it. It's the same car. I doubt it's a B-spec. It might actually be. We first saw Lewis's car in the first week, and this might be Valtteri's starting car. That's probably what happened. They literally just, as they were doing the first test, they did some changes on the other car that they're going to run for either Lewis or Bottas.
Yeah, or what a lot of other people are saying is that it's a shakedown car. It's just to get the systems working, and then the aero they start to bring, and I'm sure we'll see more changes for Australia as well. So
the basic chassis is the same though. It's just bodywork really. They've changed a little bit of carbon. The good thing, what I was going to point out on the previous iteration of this, this outwashed like this instead of had the inwash, and this also outwashed too, and they've changed it completely, and they've gone almost. They've obviously realised there's a slight abnormality in their wind tunnel design, and they've gone for a more broader wash here over the top of the tyre, and they've tried to flick it in a little bit more. Instead of going with the outwash. And they've also channeled a lot more down here. So this wasn't here before, so they've done a lot more floor work, which they've obviously realised on their numbers. If you go to the other picture, you can see the biggest elephant in the room.
yes, we
I'm
will
sure everyone's seen.
go over to this one here. Evening Talk here, evening Humbrian, welcome along. Forza Ferrari, I think we know who you're shouting for Talk here this year.
Yeah. So we got the bulbous nose. Oh God, what is that?
Yeah, it's sprouted an end.
It's got a little nose.
Well, let's not be around the bush. It's a bell end, isn't it?
It is a bit horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
They say it's to channel air down here, to get some more air into the under tray and into the side pods. I don't know how that works because it just looks like a bulbous appendage. I'm not really too sure how it works. It obviously does. It obviously brings a performance increase, but Mercedes are very much using every single inch of their wing space. There's no lack of use. You might see some of the other wing designs would come up like this and almost peter off and not use any of this space here, but Mercedes deciding to use absolutely everything. So whether it's the right idea or Ferrari have the other alternate design, it would be, you know, telling to see which one's going to be the right one. But Mercedes obviously sticking to their design choice, but just slightly modifying where they're putting the air, and doing a little bit of nose modification. This nose here, very reminiscent of a McLaren, which is quite cool to see. You know, McLaren is still getting nods. You know, they're seeing the McLaren development. That McLaren nose hasn't changed too much, though, has it? Really?
No. Well, I mean,
years.
I'm sure we'll get on to when we talk about the times and what we can gain from testing in our preview towards the season. But McLaren, a lot of pointers have been taken by other teams, and they seem very positive this year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the nose, it's really Toro Rosso and Sauber are doing that sort of dip in there and barely using this gap here, as you say. And a lot of teams are developing it. But you know, this is the biggest change this year. It's the biggest change in probably since they moved to these wider cars. So you know, they're going to be the big areas, and the teams are going to be second guessing all the way up to Melbourne, I'm sure, as to how the best way to do that.
Called it the Pinocchio car. There's this massive nose.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. Yep, we've got a few comments, Humbrian. That's freaking hideous. Definitely a little on the phallus side. Fox question is, do banks owe you 40 billion for PPI scandal? I think that might be the advert we had on the other thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have got some adverts. We have to put up with
goodness, I can touch your bits. I mean...
What? Just think before you speak next time.
I thought I could touch your tabs.
No, I've got that disabled, I think.
I moved the screen. I don't know how.
Oh.
Or maybe you moved it.
I didn't move anything.
There we go. No, we're back to normal. It's fine.
It'll probably be a diva of a car. Well, there's a lot, again, when we get on to talk about the actual performance and what we've noticed on track, there's a big thing about Mercedes and that. Talk here, Mercedes are sandbagging like they always and will win in Australia. Well, we'll have to wait and see. They didn't win there last year. And a lot of things for Ferrari, but we will get onto that, I'm sure. So, have we... Sorry to ruin your fun.
It's alright.
So this second one, is this the photos of what's changed? Or are they
This
just
is-
technical analysis photos?
Well, these are all technical, in-depth photos. So this guy, Giorgio Pinola, you would have seen his technical drawings, and you probably just didn't know the
This
name.
is the guy I was talking to you about on
This-
all Autosport videos.
Yes.
That gets put at the end of it, and he's got that
Yes.
ridiculously monotonous voice.
Oh,
But
has he?
He definitely knows his stuff.
If you go down, you can see some of his drawings. So here, these are all his drawings. And
Okay,
then
yeah, I
you-
don't
if
really,
you
I
follow
don't really want to use his drawings too much.
No,
That is too much.
but there, if you want to Google this man, Giorgio Piola, Technical Insights 2019, he gives you proper in-depth analysis and how everything works. How the hell he knows how that brake system works in a Ferrari? I don't know, but apparently he does. So there you go.
He was a F1 engineer, no?
I assume so. He draws a lot of this freehand by the looks of things, so he probably worked in this industry. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, how the hell does he know? Because it's all brand new tech. It's highly secretive. So yeah,
Yeah, but engineers can work out, can't they?
I guess
what
if
they're
you're
doing.
in the know, you know, don't you? So,
Okay.
oh, that's cool.
This Renault
See,
rear wing has
I
caught
had
my
to
eye.
think about this. I said we weren't too sure what the dashes were in the side of the thing here. These, I thought it's probably when the car is going through a high downforce corner, it can still generate downforce, like a smooth downforce. Say if they've got like there's a bit of wind, or even like a massive change of direction, the air might not necessarily be coming over this wing in a perfect straight line. It might be coming at it kind of this way or this way slightly. So it's always to generate that little bit more downforce. If you think about it, every little kind of extra plane you can put in front of moving air is going to generate some kind of opposite reaction. So it's really cool how they do that. I think that's probably what it's for, to keep stability on high speed corners and even low speed corners.
Yeah, that's a good guess. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a downforce benefit to it. That's what wouldn't be on it. There's some lovely
That's really cool though. that.
lovely
That's a
tape
cool
work
picture.
here from Renault. I think there's a few
Oh,
cracks starting to go.
Put the tape on. Nobody will notice. Do not tell Daniel. It
Just
shall
make
not
sure you
know.
use that yellow tape we've got. Oh no, Pierre, you use the black tape. What
How
are you
dare
doing?
you, Jean-Pierre? You're meant to use the yellow tape. I mean, yellow tape. Do not tell Erkenberg. He will go absolutely crazy.
Perfect. Lovely. Okay, what else have we got here? Oh, that's wrong.
New tab. Oh, advertisement. Oh,
Oh, how do we get back to the
Oh,
other
oh,
page?
God,
Oh
oh.
no, it's all gone
Oh.
wrong. There we go. So we've got some nice pictures of the Williams here. See if we can
Oh,
zoom in a
hello.
little bit on that.
hello. The Williams does the Williams look a bit cheap?
Join Prime to view high res. Anyone want to donate for high res? No.
No. Do you get what I mean? It looks a bit cheap market parts.
It's a bit basic, bitch.
It looks a bit cheap.
Yeah, it looks all right. It looks all right. It's not exactly looked fast so far, is it? So, 2000%. What else have we got here? Got the Alfa Romeo there. Some lovely little rear slots again. A lovely cut through under here. Very tight
Whoa!
packaging. Super
Package.
tight packaging.
Tight package. I saw a video of Kimi Raikkonen fettling his own seat design today. I thought it was brilliant. He had a little micro lathe thingy that he was just cutting away at some carbon fibre for his seat. Oh, hello. Yeah, don't look at that.
That's
Don't look at
the
that.
wrong colour. Just
Don't look at that.
it's not
Don't look
there.
at that.
Okay.
None of
No, PPI. No, don't do it.
Oh. Credit where credit's due. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry,
Georgia.
photographer.
Sorry, Georgia. Sorry. None of this. Go away.
Humbrian Giorgio is a master watchmaker for a Swiss company, by the way.
Is he?
Okay.
Well, there you go.
He's really changed channels there, isn't he? Good for him. Okay, but yeah, some nice detail again on the Alfa Romeo, and again looks. See, I said Alfa Romeo. I've learnt.
Sal for a man.
I'm learning. I hate to be a commentator this season though, because you're blatantly going to get it wrong very quickly.
You are. There'll be very many Murrayisms this season.
So I feel we could not even zoom in on this, and we can see the all the different concepts the teams are taking with these front wings.
So like, if you don't
so
move it
we've
right
got
now,
the
old-
radically
go on.
different Alfa Romeo here,
The double slot,
the old double slot, yeah.
the paddle slot.
Um,
That's pretty. I think it's such a cool development that they've stuck with it as well. So it's obviously a proven.
it gives such a bigger surface area for that air going up. Well, yeah, I mean the rule is 5 elements, and then they're using one less element. Theoretically, the team could just use one massive rake wing to just try and smash it up over the front wing.
Well, I think the
front
idea why they
wheels,
split it up is so they get the air is uniformly channeled into the bits inside. So the idea of them not putting, one big, like you say, rake wing, it means the air going through enters the other parts of the bodywork in a stable manner, or in a manner which has been controlled, i.e., a vortices that you'd get at the end here. Because if they just did, say, like one big gap or a couple of big gaps that wasn't, it would spoil the air going into the side pod. Hence the word spoiler.
Oh! And they're the cracking jokes you get on this podcast. Yeah, one thing I've noticed, I guess they all do, but definitely the Red Bull and the Renault have such a big side plate.
Lots of outwashing.
Big old wings. Red Bull, in terms of looks, I like the Red Bull the most.
Got a nice
Just the
wing.
way they keep this. I say I'm such a fan. If the wing ended there, I'd be so happy. Because I still think that those old school wings look the best. With just two big flat planes.
2 planes almost, yeah.
But that's the kind of design they've kept for that bottom, and then similarly they're raking it up and over. Toro Rosso, similar to Sauber, you can see they're keeping that gap very small on this side. I presume just to really try and tuck it in under the wheel and deflect it out. Whereas Mercedes, Renault, Ferrari are actually quite low as well. But Mercedes, Renault, and Haas are definitely trying to ramp it up and over, and the Red Bulls and the other teams going down and under. But that's what it's cool to see with these kind of big regulation changes, is that teams will almost 50-50 take different approaches, and it's what works for the rest of the car at the end of the day as well.
It's wasted space that they've got there, though, in that little gap that Ferrari are using. Because it's the benefit of, say, using a bit of wing there, like Mercedes are, and like the Renault is. But this is it's a trade-off, isn't it? In not putting anything there, because they're going to get the air's going to come through here and going to hit the wheel. Is it better to obviously put more of a flap here to I'm not getting my words out, am I?
No, but it's more whether they're trying to speed up it. The idea of the front wing is to direct it and to speed it up. And all the way through the car is to speed up the airflow in the same areas you want it. And by keeping...
They've decided to leave it though, haven't they? They've left that area because obviously they've realised it doesn't make much of a difference.
No, but by angling these lower, they're speeding up the air that's going down. Whereas on the wings that are raking a lot higher, there's fewer channels keeping the air low. So if you've got a great floor or a great lower section of the side pods, then you want the more air you can speed up and get to there, the better job it will do of generating the downforce. This is the thing with raking it up; it's improving the drag over the front wheel, but then it's losing the amount of sped up air that actually gets directed once it gets further down the car.
I agree.
So this is the trade-off and where it works for the rest of your car, I guess. What we were really missing last time was some nice arse shots.
Oh, we got some more arse shots.
We have got some nice ones this time. So again, incredible diffuser work from Mercedes.
Barely see it. To be fair.
Shall we see if we can get some better shots over on the other page? Can we get that looks very dark. Yeah, that's not showing much, is it?
Bit too dark.
It's
on a rather dark bottom.
Can we have a night test, please, with floodlights? Ooh, hello, Esteban. We've had all the drivers turning up, actually, haven't we?
Yeah.
which I guess we'll talk about. Some Roscoe
No!
and some Hamilton.
Roscoe.
Oh, that's a
Roscoe.
nice one. Oh, there we
Ah,
go.
perfect.
That's a proper arse shot. Let's just
Zooming in that arse.
We go bigger?
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, I guess
Oh.
that's what we're getting.
That's as big as you get.
Yeah. So hopefully this fidelity's showing up on the stream, but yes, I mean, just look at the layers on that inside wheel arch. It's just a crazy amount of slots.
Rate my
Directing it all
slots.
over the place. Yeah.
It's funny that you see those pictures, and normally when you see like a little accident where someone gets tapped in the rear, and he's like, "Oh, I'm suffering a little bit of rear downforce or whatever." Looking at that picture, you can really realise how they suffer. Oh, you got Ferrari and Mercedes, by the way. How they would suffer that loss of rear downforce. Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's a big
Spicy there.
crash. I think we'll get to that one.
I know. We'll come to you later, sir.
Have you checked out the latest Formula Fun podcast? I it's very, very shit. I don't do jokes. It's the old sci-fi game. I mean, the probes get crazier and crazier each year, can we? Can we talk about Pierre Crashly? Yeah, we can. We will talk about the actual ins and outs testing. We're just looking a little bit more at the cars first.
The developments of the cars.
Binned it twice.
Rate my rack. That's what it should be. All the aerodynamic racks that they've stuck to the cars. So we've got the Ninu Nanu antenna from the Ferraris in the rack race.
Yep.
Well, we've had the bucktooth Renault with the massive.
Yep, with the two sprouted
prongs.
horns on the front.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised Red Bull didn't do.
Oh no, this is the launch. Clicked on launch.
I don't want to launch.
Oh, bloody launch. What
This is
launch
getting
for?
too specific now.
Can you actually, if you go in a little bit deeper, you can actually select Charles Leclerc's lunch.
Yeah, on each day. Day by day below. Yeah.
There you go, there's a little
Here
tusk.
are the old tusks. Oh, the motorsport images in the way.
Bloody
But
motorsport images.
we can see him.
Thank you, Jerry Andre, but we can see exactly what this is. Do you reckon this is, it looks like it's
I
almost
haven't
like
seen this. Is that
Is it new?
Floviz or is that livery?
looks new.
That's paint, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not Floviz.
Why have they done that?
You'll never know.
Interesting.
That's cool though. That's like a stability tusk.
Yeah, I mean they're sensors.
There was also
but...
there was also a stability brace on the rear of the Red Bull, round the exhaust. We might be able to find that later. That's
there's
Floviz.
blue on the wing there.
That's Floviz, you can see. We did have a bit of Floviz come out this second test, didn't we?
Yeah, they love the old Floviz.
Oh, just a bit of Floviz on my front wing, please, on my front flaps.
A bit of Danny Rick. Like he's looking happy as always, but he could be completely miserable in that photo. You never quite know.
There's Alain Prost, look, waving goodbye to his future prospects.
Hit us, Sebastian. Oh no, you've gone on the wrong corner.
Oh dear, sorry, Sebastian. It looks like you may have crashed. Oh, auf Wiedersehen. I mean, bonjour. I mean, hello.
Leclerc likes his first name pronounced the English way. This makes him even cooler. What's the
What,
English
Charles?
way? What? Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
Charles.
Well, because it's
Not
Charles,
much
isn't
difference,
it?
is it?
Charles Leclerc. So he really likes it as Charles Leclerc.
Oh, well, I'll remember that in future. Okay, I don't know that there's much more about the cars themselves we really need to be looking at. So, shall we
can't
get
think of
on to a
any
testing
extras.
rundown?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with our times, shall we?
Yes.
So this is a list of all the quickest times from all the tests put together with the tyres to be adjusted. Yep, Charles, not Charles. Okay, perfect. So, Ferrari bloody quick.
Well,
Bloody quick, as it turns out.
okay, disclaimer: we can't allow for fuel currently, but let's just say they were running minimum fuel.
Yeah, but I feel the fuel was taken out for Mercedes today as well.
Mm.
And all the fastest times here have been set on the same compounded tyre, all the way down to Max Verstappen here on the C3s.
The thing is, though, when they test, they have to almost test every eventuality if possible. Normally, they can't really do wet weather testing, but sometimes they do wet the test, like in Bahrain, and wet the track, sorry, like in Bahrain. But I guess every single eventuality will be a quali run style test. Whether they sandbag it and decide to go slow in the last sector, and still just use the information from, say, like the first two sectors. But it looks like they haven't, and they've gone all out, which is great to see for once. Normally it's hidey, tigey, monkey, whatever the phrase is.
Monkey under the rock. Yeah, I mean, it's still difficult to tell because there are curveballs in there. You've got Renault, Toro Rosso, and McLaren in the 16s as well. Which, if you expect them, if they have a good off season, to catch maybe 3 or 4 tenths on the front guys, and there was well over a second, sometimes even a second and a half between them before.
You could, I guess, you can't take in engine modes either in FYI.
Exactly, and how much the drivers are actually pushing. You know, that might be a flat-out lap for Nico Hülkenberg, whereas Vettel, Hamilton, Leclerc and Bottas are taking it easy, even if the fuel loads are similar. So it's difficult to tell, but considering the cars at the top are Ferrari and Mercedes, and the quickest cars last year were Ferrari and Mercedes, you do feel it's a bit representative. So they're looking pretty good.
Red Bull, though, where are you?
Ferrari had last year a bigger gap when we watched testing, but into Australia we went. Mercedes were half a second quicker in quali. Yeah, but who won the race?
Yeah, who won?
And who won the majority of the races at the beginning of last year? And the thing that I really want to bring up first is, again, and maybe even more so than last year, because we didn't hear it at testing last year, there's a lot of noises coming out of Mercedes that car is even more of a diva than last year. They're really, really struggling with setup on it.
The Mercedes?
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing.
And I think that's the reason we've seen long runs the entirety of it, is because they really are trying to understand what these problems are.
And obviously the phallus nose, let's call it.
Well, and yeah,
The
they're
phallus
perhaps
nose
the biggest change between the 2 weeks. It's been with that car, but that again could have been planned.
Yeah, it could have been.
But I think Ferrari and Mercedes are right up there again. I think Red Bull were an unknown quantity. There was some mention in the chat of their engine issues. We have seen quite a few stoppages for them and some much lower lap counts in the last few days than we saw from Red Bull in the first week, maybe as they start to push it a bit more. But you want to talk about vibrations with them?
Well, there was rumours about still having some vibrations in that engine that Toro Rosso was suffering last year and McLaren the year before. But those rumours were quickly quashed by Mr. Horner and Dr. Helmut as soon as they were spoken. So normally there's no smoke without fire, but it's always something to think about. You know, when your closest rivals have probably got 3 to 5 years development on top of you, and you're bringing a 3 to 5 year old, younger engine package into the play. You've got to remember that there might be some things to work out, and especially you're not going to be as quick. So
there's going to be a lot of integration issues.
Well, they said they quickly quashed all of that rumor and said this is the best launch we've ever had. We had like 5 engines sat on pallets ready to go out before we even got the car to the test. That's never happened before in the past 10 years. And all of this random upbeat stuff. So I don't know why they pushed the upbeat so much, Did they have something to hide? I don't know. But it's
Well, I'm looking at very basic terms.
Mm.
If you look at a basic point of view, the Honda engine after its update in Suzuka last year was quicker than Renault. Towards the end of the season, Red Bull were at most 3 or 4 tenths off the top 2 teams in qualifying and probably had the best race package. If that engine is even 1 or 2 tenths quicker than the Renault, they're right in the fight for race wins every single race. They are the best
they're always
racing
quick
team.
on the race. They are, hands down. The quickest guys.
That's
on
all you
race
need.
day.
You give Verstappen someone a couple more attempts in qualifying, put him on the second row instead of the third.
Look what he did in Brazil, and look what he did in Mexico. Just absolutely smashed it.
Exactly.
And
He was third in the championship in terms of points, second half of the season. And if he doesn't have a terrible beginning this time, there's every chance that he can be right up there to begin with.
Mm.
Now, there's a lot of chat on this one. So, welcome, Calcifer, by the way. Welcome to the stream. So, you don't think Ferrari's too much better? Personally hope that Vettel or Leclerc will win the championship. Not on Mercedes G. I think that's what F1 needs, isn't it?
Mm.
Fox, I just hope there isn't a complete switch of dominance. I want a few seasons of close championships before it's just 6 years of Ferrari dominance.
This is going to be it. We're coming to the end game scenarios with this engine package. So if you look back on other years and other iterations of rules or other formula, let's say, it normally all happens at the end. Look at what happened in 2010, 12, 13 were all crackers. At least 2010 and I think 13 was okay. But anyway, normally towards the end of the rule package, it starts to get pretty fucking spicy. So these next couple of years are going to be superb.
Yeah, and I feel like most people that we have the best grid of drivers as well that we've had in many years.
We've got a cream of the crop right now. We've got a golden generation. I love what everyone loves to say, oh, look at my golden generation. But we have got a golden generation going on.
Yeah, I feel you've got the experience and depth at the front of the field that we had in 2010, but with some young guns thrown in there as well. And I think, just in case you didn't hear that, I'm just going to write it on the stream. Ferrari can't keep up with the upgrades that Mercedes make, especially with the aero.
Yes, they can.
They've got, I mean,
Don't
I
even
can't say they haven't got
that.
the facilities, but Mercedes have been better at developing the car in season. But then Ferrari made a wrong turn last year, which they admitted. And when they reverted it, they were back to pace. So it's difficult to say, isn't it?
Those top 3 teams have got the quickest turnaround in development of parts. So they are both on the same page. I wouldn't worry about that.
No, yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think the question mark is going to be Red Bull and that Honda. But hopefully they produce what is needed to bring the season we want. Okay, so moving on to the midfield down here a little bit. So we've got Renault and Toro Rosso and McLaren following. Maybe a little case of the glory laps we're testing's known for. Last 2-3 years have shown that if you look at the stats, basically Ferrari is basically the same with aero. It's a good point, and potentially Mercedes have been better at ironing out their kinks. But Ferrari, you've got to get it together at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is their best chance, right? You think this is going to be the best chance?
Yeah, I think drivers is wide open. I think for constructors, they've got the best chance because Kimi, found some form last year, absolutely. But I think in Leclerc, they've got a potential race winner every race. And if you've got 2 drivers, that's the big difference they have over Mercedes, I think. But then the infighting could prove a big problem for them. So, how are we going to do this? I reckon we move on to our previews of 2019, and we'll go team by team, say what shape they're in, and then we're going to make predictions.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, let's make some predictions.
Or do you want to go through a little bit more what happened in testing? Because there are some
Yeah, so there were a few crashes. We could go through
Yes.
that.
Yes, there were a few incidents.
Yeah, we got Vettel's queued up. I don't think we can show Gasly's because it's official F1 content, and they have a habit of actually completely banning a video.
They
terms of-
won't just ban a video as well. They will ban channels.
Yeah,
will go
so I don't
the
really
full
want to
thing.
go into Gasly's crash. We can talk about it afterwards, but we can have a little look at Vettel's here, which we've
I
got
don't
up
think
on screen
this-
now.
Oh god, it's F1 as well.
Oh,
Stand to you.
oh, let's do it. Why
I'm
not?
happy to play it. Yeah. Do you reckon you could? Yeah. So let it buffer a second.
I've just noticed how bloody loud that was. Apologies to any headphone users. But yeah, a complete front left failure for Vettel. Not his fault, surprisingly. A lot of people were quick to jump to that, weren't they?
Yes.
But yeah, so it's just about there.
I apologise to my stream for the quality of that video. It doesn't translate very well through for the viewer.
Oh, okay, what for your team viewer?
Yeah, it doesn't work whatsoever. There's quite an audible bang, isn't there?
Yeah.
A lot of people citing it was the actual tyre that went. I think it was.
It
the rim.
is. So I think from the angle we've got here, where it's paused, you can see what's come off here,
I think it was wheel rim.
and then you see high enough quality on yours that
There's a
tyre
gap.
is actually, there's a gap there, isn't there?
It's off the bead, yeah.
Yeah, so the tyre potentially rather than the front rim.
I don't think it's. You can see as well, whether just because it's now completely unloaded, but there is a change in the height of the suspension. That's probably because of its,
Well, yeah, that's why there's sparks here.
But what I'm saying
That's
is-
the bigger indicator of. See the angle of the suspension? No, I'm looking at these big
The tyre-
fat off sparks coming off the front
the tyre
wing.
looks fine though. The tyre itself, the actual tyre, it doesn't look like the tyre failed. This is weird that it's so curved. I don't know. I don't know if it's definitely wasn't suspension. I think suspension is fine, but you hear an audible pop and then it's bang on the floor and off.
Yeah, like the wheels come off the rim.
So whether it was
come off the rim.
it's definitely deflated. You can see that
Yeah.
quickly. Whether it was an actual rim failure or a bead or tire failure, I guess we don't know. You can only speculate. But just the severity and how quickly it happened, and the lack of debris. Because if you look back on, I think maybe 2014 when Lewis's tire went at whatchamacallit, at the British Grand Prix.
Silverstone.
Yeah, there was carcass everywhere, and carcass tends to flap on the side of the wheel, and it will stay there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So, I
that's not a delamination. That's something that's caused the tyre to come off the rim.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not. Find out, won't we? Well, we won't, but they're not going to say. It's weird. It's a very odd failure. So they have to be careful, I guess. They'll know exactly what it was. I guess you could put it down as a sudden depressurization of the tyre through whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't. Similar. We never know with these kind of things, do we?
It's weird. Do you want to play it one more time?
Yep. By all means. I think we've got one more slow-mo just afterwards. Yeah, that's the tyre.
It wobbled. It did wobble, didn't it?
That's
as well?
that's the tyre coming off the rim. Something on the rim has failed, or the inside wall, or the tyre on that.
Yeah.
Although Cal has apparently sent me something.
Oh.
Okay, I feel this isn't a genuine reason, but I'm gonna show it anyway.
No, I've seen this as well.
That's yeah, I think you're right, Cal. That's the definite reason confirmed.
That's 100% confirmed what happened.
Oh, perfect. Right, I did have. Where has it gone? Something of Gasly here. Obviously, we can't show the video because it's official Formula One. But we can see. Well, actually, that's not much. Bit of the aftermath.
Of course, we go in depth, Rich. This is the Formula Fun podcast. It brings together the in-depthness of what we know about Formula One. People wouldn't want to watch if it wasn't a little bit in depth.
Which is nowhere near as much as the major ones, but we have a bit of a laugh while we're at it, rather than here's an incredibly serious video while this man talks about this front wing.
We might not have Gary Anderson. However, you do have some bumbling British idiots.
Exactly.
Arguably, Gary Anderson fits that category as well, but
yes,
we can't afford him.
One doesn't make you want to jump off a bridge or fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
The other does. I can make you get. Well, maybe both do. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
So second crash.
That's not.
Gasly shaken after it wasn't a big crash. Vettel's was a big crash. This was a bit of a.
It was a massive rear impact.
I don't know. I would probably say I wouldn't have liked to be in Vettel's crash. I wouldn't have minded being in this crash.
I mean, the rear of the car was completely destroyed.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but it was completely his fault. Yeah, as a few
Yes.
people say in the chat. Yeah. So, no real problems for Red Bull in terms of the car, just in terms of what they were trying to achieve on that day of testing. They lost quite a bit. And yes, we had the normal breakdowns, which you can never really read too much into. There was no great deal for one car or the other. Haas had quite a few problems late on, as did Ferrari with cracked exhaust. There are quite a few exhaust issues, which is, considering they're probably running, in the second half of the week, they're getting into running repeats of engines or engines that have done quite a bit of mileage. A cracked exhaust is probably fair enough, isn't it? No real issues. But yeah, it was probably the highest lap count we've seen in this new generation. There's regularly 6-7 cars getting the century up during the day. So yeah, reliability looks good. Whether that will hold for the time that the season comes about and they're actually racing Angle, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll see a fair number of breakdowns in Australia, as we normally do.
I'm going to put money on a Williams.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you'll get good odds. That's what you want from betting. But not necessarily any genuine return on your money. Right, let's move on to a team-by-team breakdown and a preview onto the 2019 season, shall we? So I feel there could be a little bit of debate about this. And there could be, I know what I'm going to do.
All the tabs.
Right, I'm just going to hide this from stream for a minute.
Oh, 1 second. Ah.
Are you going to...
It's hidden, it's fine.
Okay.
We're just doing some spreadsheet work here. I have no idea why.
This is very, very slow.
Very, very slow spreadsheet work. Whilst Jay is doing the said spreadsheet work that possibly we could have done before,
We had a lot of other stuff to set up, all right?
what would you say was your number one, not you, Jay, chat, what would you say was your number one incident or occurrence in the first 2 weeks of testing? I'll hand it over to you guys, chat. Let us know what you think. The number one incidents, occurrence, banter, even meme that you saw in this week's testing. Hardy straight in there with Williams not being there.
Yeah, I guess that's the big thing we didn't talk about, was it?
No,
Williams
turn up.
Obviously, we talked about it briefly in the last podcast, but they did finally show up. And they got a good amount of laps in this week. there was quite a bit of talk about Robert Kubica's comments as well when he got out of the car on his first full day of running this week. Really quite critical of Williams about how they're just focusing on data. They weren't really doing any work on the car itself, and he just felt like he was going around collecting data rather than actually looking at setup and ways to improve the car, which worried him, and he said he was worried about it. But considering the delay and their problems, I kind of thought, what else would you expect them to do?
Any little comments from your chat on the question?
Where's Williams from Fox?
Where's Williams? That
was the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Williams? Yeah, I think so too. That's probably the biggest chat, wasn't it? And obviously the crashes, I guess, and the fire. I was actually happy for the fire. Obviously, concerned for all of those involved. And first, I voiced concern, and I felt concern, but then instantly was rather pleased because I could also say that there was a fire.
Yes, I think they're all fine, weren't they?
That was all fine,
as I'm aware. But it was 3 McLaren mechanics that were injured at the end of the first test.
Hospital. It's all fine.
From a fire in the garage.
A little fire.
Indeed.
Better that than in a disco, eh?
Fire in the disco. Yeah. Humbria Kubica is a bit of a knob. He did seem like it in that what he was saying from there, but I think at the end of the day...
Kubica being a bit of a knob, was he?
Well, that whole thing that we just talked about.
Oh, what? Saying that he was disappointed that they weren't there and a bit embarrassed.
He was very, very critical of Williams of how they were running the test.
Well, so was Claire was a little bit critical as well, and she was very angry when they arrived.
Yeah, of the fact the car didn't turn up, not necessarily of their testing program. There's a bit of a difference once you finally get the car on track to then having a 140 lap day and complaining about the way the team ran that day.
Well, Russell was very happy and upbeat about the first couple of runs and testing.
Yeah, I mean, he's just happy to be there, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's just happy to be there. Hardy said that Roscoe turning up and biting Hamilton's tyre was also a top little meme for him.
That's something that also happened, was it? Okay.
Roscoe turned up. Yeah, he went for some pictures of Roscoe a minute ago, and I went, no, it's Roscoe.
I didn't know he bit the tyre.
Ow!
That's the bit I meant.
That's what the tyre said as well. Ow!
Ow! I'm not supposed to delaminate till Silverstone.
Alonso being there was Rich's top moment from testing. Cheeky Alonso, with some really good. Oh, I've got to find his quote. One sec, I'll read his quote. So he was interviewed when he was there. One sec, because I posted it to you guys. One sec. I'm pretty sure I posted it. There we go. So here we go. Apparently, this is according to BBC. All stuff to BBC here. All the respect and whatnot. Don't sue me. Alonso is not missing driving the car and would suggest there is no hope of a dramatic full F1 return in 2020. But, and there's always a but with Alonso, the Spaniard also said,
so muck this up.
I feel at the peak of my career, so being at home is a waste of time, and the possibilities for everyone. Waste of time. Sorry, and possibilities for everyone. I'm doing different iconic races now and feel at the best moment of my career, as he just said, and I hope to win as many of these races as I can to keep involved in the F1 life, just in case. I'm probably stronger than ever now at 34, definitely a lie, physically, mentally, and knowledge of different driving styles. It's like Pokemon, you catch them all. Feeling very competitive in any series I jump in, so just going to go to the next couple of years and see what races will make an impact and race those. If one day F1 arrives the moment that I can be competitive and be winning, it won't. I cannot be relaxed at home. I need to be updated, and the best way is to keep updated is to be involved somehow. So
this was followed by a call from over the barrier. Lando's feeling a bit faint. Get my helmet.
Did he go out in it? He didn't, did he?
No, I'm joking. He said all that, but he'll be back in it in a heartbeat if he gets the opportunity. If it was a decent car, I guess. But
he could just jump back in it though, right? If he wanted, if he was just like, fancy a go. Fancy to go?
You see, this
Who's
was
the-
the big
is an ambassador,
discussion
isn't
that came out of it. If you were McLaren, would you let him?
Yeah.
You see,
Why not?
I wouldn't at this point.
What do you think is the negative press he might bring?
I
He's
just
a pile
don't.
of shit.
They're trying to, move on, create this new era for themselves.
Time to
Just
stop.
having Alonso hanging about and this question of whether he's going to be in the car is not good for them.
Like an old doll. Oh, take Alonso at the back. Just not. Just
How
put
did he
one in
get? How did he get back from the farm?
the-
It's
How did he
500
get-
miles away.
We threw him in a random field with a bag over his head, and he managed to get back.
Great
didn't even
sense of
leave the
direction.
breadcrumbs. I know. Jesus.
He turned up with his own McLaren. Where did he find that? he's turned up with like his Renault from his museum from 2005.
Yeah.
Like,
An old,
I'm
an
here to
old Renault.
test.
a junky old Menardi. Anyway, right. So, what are we doing here? What's this spreadsheet?
So these are going to be our predictions. So
Okay.
we will predict based on driver and team where we feel people will finish this year. Okay, I'm just waiting for you to finish your perfect art. Fox is less of if negative press and more of demoralising Saints or Norris. But yeah, I mean they're not going to be happy. I mean Saints, Alonso is his idol, so he's not going to be too bothered with him hanging about, is he? But yeah, it's not great for Norris. Although watching a lot of Norris's iRacing recently, he doesn't seem to give a crap about anything. So I mean, it bother him either. But it's not. Oh, for God's sake! Any opportunity. This is your car, guys. Alonso shows up. Maybe not. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's get on with some predictions for 2019, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So, the way I think we'll do this, we'll go team by driver, and then if we want to move them around, our predictions as we go through, we can move them up or down. And go
Okay.
from there. So, let's start with the world champions, Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, their winter's been very steady,
Steady.
very race runny,
Race runny.
and then a bit of pace today.
Bit of pacey.
It's right, 5-year-old. So we really don't know what to expect from them, do we?
No.
But we know how impressive they've been the last few years.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go straight in and put them at number 2.
Really annoying that you started on number 1. On the-
Well, you
There
can't
you
do
go.
that with spreadsheets, you know.
I know you can. Oh, 55.
50. Yeah, unfortunately, the team
4
that
to
finished
55 in 1 second.
it's F1's
Hurry,
attempt to spice it up
that-
this year. Whoever finishes 5th actually finishes 55, and they have to pay the FIA money. Okay, what about Mercedes for you?
Quick maths. As I'm also going to go Mercedes second.
Ah, you're gonna match me.
I'm going to match you. I've got a funny
Would.
feeling we're going to be very similar on these. So team Mercedes second.
Potentially, we were very close last year in the end predictions, weren't we?
Mm.
I can't remember if we made them at the beginning of the year and got them rated. We did them race by race as well.
Just going on driver
Fox,
lineup.
do you want me to tell
Speed.
you your predictions from the end of the year podcast?
Oh, no.
No, we're going to fresh, Fox.
Fresh.
got a bit of testing
Scrap that,
data.
mate. Pop that in the shredder.
Okay, the much trickier one. Drivers.
Oh, we're gonna go. I thought we were gonna do teams first. Let's do teams first. Go on.
Okay,
Do,
yeah, let's go through the teams then.
do the boring bit first. We'll
I'm-
go to the spicy bit afterwards.
Guessing that this is going to be our number 1.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing this is going to be our
Yeah.
number 3.
Yeah, it gets a bit more spicy the further we go down, but yes.
Okay, number 14. Just a little word then for obviously looking in great shape. Mercedes and Red Bull putting them half a second in front of them. And Mercedes putting themselves and Red Bull on par. But you can never really tell what they actually think. And we won't know till we get to Australia. But Red Bull have had some decent running. It's not been a horrible start to the Honda relationship, has it?
No.
But we've seen no great pace from them, even today.
No
so-
evidence so far to suggest, currently, that they will be challenging for second or first.
No.
Yet.
But Verstappen, you never know.
He said he's optimistic, which is pretty much saying, yeah, it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's optimistic. You're a pretty bad Formula 1 driver if you go into season you're not
I'm
optimistic, aren't
pretty
you?
optimistic I might win.
Oh, we're screwed this year, guys. I'll race for you, but we're screwed. Number 4.
I'll let you go first. No, go on, I'll go
I
first.
might shock a few people with this.
I'll go first. Right, ready?
I'm going
He's done it!
I think they look good. I do think they look good, and without Alonso in that car, and with one great proven drivers and one huge future talent, I could see them doing great things this year. They're not going to be anywhere near the pace of the front three, but that's where I think they're going to end up.
Renault,
Yep.
pop them in. Oh.
Hey.
All right, Jonathan Ross.
Well, I am going with them for 5th.
I will go with Alfa Romeo.
Ooh, bold. You think the Alphas are going to be there for P?
I reckon there's a reason why old Raikkonen took the plunge. So I'm gonna trust. in
Yeah, their
Raikkonen.
headquarters are like 5 miles from his house.
Nothing to do with it.
No, I think Giovinazzi's the thing that's going to let them down.
Yeah, not heard good things out of the camp so far about.
I mean, the 2
Giovinazzi.
races he's had, he ended up in a barrier. Actually, no, the
Yes,
first
yeah.
race he actually finished, I think, and then the second race,
China, he ended up in the barrier.
Yeah, twice in qualifying and the race, the same barrier. That's what I
My
mean. This
chat
is a
does not
team
agree
game.
with your predictions.
Sorry,
Currently, my chat does not agree with your predictions.
really?
The glory hunting of McLaren in 4th place. I will put McLaren in 6th. In
Okay.
7th, sorry.
In 7th. Are you going for 6th
That's
then?
it. Oh no, 6th. Sorry, I was reading the side. Yeah, McLaren.
Okay, I'm going to go with Haas
Oh,
for P6. I think that car looks good. They're going to have some upgraded Ferrari bits.
too many problems.
Well, if Grosjean starts
Niggles.
off on the same foot as he did last year, and we see some of the brilliance we saw with Magnussen last year, I could see them finishing up.
Can
That's it.
Grosjean start off on a foot? Does he know which foot he has? I don't know. Is it the left? Is it the right? I do not know. Is it
Oh
Ericsson?
no, Ericsson did me.
Is it Ericsson?
What's
I
his
do not
IndyCar
know.
doing here?
I did not think we would meet Ericsson until we got around to Austin. Anyway, next. Oof, hard, isn't it?
Well, I'll go straight in there.
Alpha. Yeah, might as well split it up. I'll go Haas as well.
Okay. P8 for me is gonna be. Oh, I'm putting them a long way down. To be fair, but that's where they're going. We've got to them.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah, I see too much improvement from the rest of the midfield this year.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna duplicate you.
Okay.
Racing Point. The car looks.
Rousing.
Your spelling on my side of the board is atrocious. Jonathan Ross.
Spelling is not my strong point anyway.
Weno.
How do you spell? I've never
Rousing.
known how do you spell Renault.
No, you just RW. So I said Timmy
Oh,
down.
that is right,
Jonathan
isn't it?
Ross. Yes, that's pretty much right.
Is it? It's not right, is it? I don't think it
I don't
is.
know.
Yeah, it is
it's
right. It's right.
No, you spelt it originally with RW. That's why I said simmer down.
Weno.
Weno. Right. So is this the last one? I can't really tell.
We got 2 to go.
You miss it. Oh, Toro Rosso. Yeah, go on. Yeah, I will copy you at the bottom back bits as well. Because
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. You can actually skip about 4, and then put Williams. That's what I'm doing.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, Racing Point is an interesting one. Interesting point.
Memes.
We could be really pedantic here.
Oh, really? Sport Pesa, Racing Point, Force India, all of this. Really? No.
I'm going to be proper.
Whatever.
But then we could have done that for a lot of them. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, Racing Point. This is the thing. I feel this is why 2019 is going to be such a good year. That if Red Bull get closer and the battle between Ferrari and Mercedes goes on the whole year, the front is going to be electric. The midfield, I mean, with the exception of Williams, I think from here to here, honestly, that's our predictions, but it could be any which way round.
Yeah.
They are all going to be so close, and that fight is going to be intense. So, yeah, Racing Point go down there, even though they haven't finished lower than 5th on aggregate points if we go by last year for like 3 years. But I worry about Stroll. Again, this is the combination thing of the two drivers put together, the teams. I'm sure you guys know how teams work, but yeah, I just worry a little bit about how Stroll's going to get on and how Perez is going to be in that team and that environment, especially if Stroll and Perez are anywhere near each other on track. And again, Toro Rosso look good. They look really good. But it's such a competitive midfield. I think that's where they're going to end up. Right, now the big one. Drivers' World Champions.
Ooh.
It's tough, isn't it?
Ooh. We can start from the bottom and work our way up, or what are we doing?
Do you want to do it that way? Seems a weird way to do it.
No, go on. We start from where the Stars and Spangled Banners would start.
Okay, World Champions. I think this is what I went with in the pre-season or the end of season podcast. I'm still going to go the same. I think he's going to make it 5. Controversial. A lot of people really went down in their estimations last year, but that I do think it's his year. I think that Ferrari looks great. I think Leclerc, as great as he's going to be, is going to take a season or two to get up to the standard of the top guys. Although I think he's going to be super impressive, but that's my world champion. Foxworth Alpha could win races this season, I think. Raikkonen, Drivers' World Champion, maybe. You going with Lewis again?
Yep. Long may he reign supreme.
It's never gonna die. Why isn't this?
We're butchering that.
Google Sheets. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Now it gets a bit more tricky. No, I think I will. I'm half tempted to go for someone else there, but I am gonna go Lewis Best Fans Hamilton for P2. Foxworth, you went Hamilton Ferrari. Okay, well I'm changing my mind then. This is the benefit of doing it after testing. Have you lost the ability to speak or something?
Frenchman! Put him in there! Charles Leclerc! Charlie! Leclerc. Charlie Leclerc. Yeah.
That's his name in it?
Yeah.
Really? So you think Charles Leclerc is going to be runner-up? Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, interesting. Foxworth wants Leclerc and Ferrari. Okay.
Oh, he's such a... It should be Max. I'll get my dad on you, Verstappen.
Well, that's what it can be for yours if you want.
Put him in.
You're going third for him as well.
Yep. I'll get your dad on you. See that have that kind of influence?
Running out of space.
Yeah, I think my chat saying they're preferring my teams and your drivers.
Okay.
I'll have fourth Vettel, please.
Fourth Vettel.
You should. Oh no,
That's
you've
mine.
you should be called. You spin me right round, Vettel. This has got terribly out of control.
Perfect. This is gonna be I can't think of anything for him. I used mine up on yours. It's gonna be Leclerc for me.
Oh, this is where it starts to become hard.
So I feel we've got two teammates to choose from here that we both don't obviously rate too highly. It would seem. He's Monegasque. He is. Did I not call him? Did we just call him something else?
I called him French. I called
Oh.
him French. I know.
He's as good as.
Funnily enough, we fly into the same airport. He's bloody French, all right. I will go for Daniel Ricciardo because he's a better driver.
Do you want to take another stab at that?
I mean, oh God, no, not there anymore. No, take it off.
Well, someone's really not up to speed yet.
Oh, go Bottas, fuck it. Call him Crashly. Do it.
I really fear for Bottas this year. I do.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the chop halfway through the season as well. Ocon, we need you.
I don't know if it'll go that much, but
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, mate.
that would be incredible
Been
if he
done
does.
before.
In
Done
which case, you're in a
before.
bit of trouble with fifth. he would have had to have won every race up to mid-season to still finish fifth and still be fired.
Technically, Bottas will stay where he is. Well, his name will still be on the standings, and Ocon would actually be 21. Thank you very much.
Right, but you think Bottas not being able to score another point for half the season would still end up in
Yes.
fifth? Having
Yes.
had a sufficiently bad season to get fired midway through.
Yes.
Okay, just so we're clear.
Yeah. I'll put Pierre on my fifth, please. On my sixth, please. Still getting confused by these numbers, even though you've written the correct numbers next to them.
I mean,
Get rid of that. It's haunting me.
that's gonna.
Oh, don't do that.
I don't know. I'm not good with it. Just ignore this, okay? It's not actually on the
Alright,
stream.
I'm
It's not on the
ignoring
stream.
Why, Rich? Why is Jay's better? Lewis is perfectly capable of winning. Charles Leclerc, if he gets a good couple of races and he could come second, fair enough. The Max Seb Bottas bit is probably the crazy bit, all right? But the rest, I think, is perfectly doable.
I mean, that's the beauty this year. We do not know.
We have no idea.
We do not.
We do not have any idea. Well, carrying on from my predictions, I will say Daniel Ricciardo. Well, no, what are you doing, Jamie? If McLaren's meant to come where it's meant to come, you best put some McLaren drivers up here. Fair enough.
It doesn't necessarily mean they have to finish seventh.
Okay. Daniel Ricciardo then, and then put the next best man underneath, please. You won't like him when he's angry. Really? There you go. Nico, come on, Asterix. You won't like me when I'm angry. There we go. You don't have to put Hulkenberg. It's fine. Okay.
No, this is going to get as ridiculous as we like. So I've got a little bit of room left.
Okay. Are you doing the same? Oh, he's going to have to stick by his previous predictions, otherwise he's...
No, that's genuinely what I feel.
Okay, alright. Oh, you don't think Lando's going to come higher than Carlos? You think Nico's going to get that far down?
It doesn't have to be by many
McLarens.
points.
Behind the McLarens, Jamie. You're crazy. I thought you were putting Lando. We'll see you now, Norris.
That's a much better nickname, but I don't feel he's earned that.
For the sake of experience, I will put Carlos 9th and Lando 10th, please. Carlos, I feel we need a name for Carlos. Carlos can't rely on my dad's name forever, Saints. Shut up, Rich! He's saying that you're still correct.
What, me?
Yeah. Shut up.
Okay.
I will take your mod status away.
What about the junior part? Oh, I mean, doesn't not my dad sort of sum that up, Fox? I think we got that there, haven't we?
I think we covered the dad meme. Ooh. Ooh.
I never know how to spell his bloody name.
Nah, it's fine. Just put Kimmy, I know what I'm doing. You can put it as Kimmy, where's my ice cream, Raikkonen.
I don't fucking know how to spell his name. I'm gonna go find this.
You cheating bastard. I'll spell it to you.
Yeah, please.
R-A-I K-K.
Yep.
I should probably look.
This is much quicker.
R-I-K-K-O-N-E-N.
O-N-E-N. I wonder I can never spell it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Sorry. I was like, I'll spell it for you, and I didn't even look it up. Rich goes, okay, Rage is more correct.
He doesn't really think that.
I know, you can have your own view.
We will find out at the end.
2019. Right. Kimi Raikkonen. What do we do next? I guess it's going to have to be Roman. Jesus. And you know, the biggest meme on the whole thing, you don't put Kevin touch my balls or suck my balls.
Alright, I'm just filling it in.
Suck my balls, mate. Or more. What did he say? Was it suck my balls, man?
I don't know, you can put what you want on yours.
Just copy it. I want to suck my balls as well.
You said Roman though, didn't you?
Yeah, Roman, Ericsson hit me, Grosjean. This is making this take twice as long.
No, it's fine. We're at just over an hour 20 minutes.
I don't mind how long it takes, but it's just whenever anyone looks at this, it's gonna be like, who the hell is Valtteri Wingman Bottas? Carlos, not my dad's Saints.
I'm not expecting anyone too non-F1y to watch this, so we should be alright.
Lowest, best fans Hamilton. Max, punch you up Verstappen.
It's a bit of extra context for people that are new fans. They get all the memes and the predictions in one go.
Do they?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll side with you. Okay, what have we got next? It will have to be Kevin for me. Jesus Christ! It's okay. Kevin for me. Where's Roman coming for you?
Probably next, to be fair.
Yeah, I guess he has to.
Okay, 14th for you.
I guess it would have to be Giovinazzi.
Really?
I have
Wow.
to keep my alpha where it is. It has to be
See, this is
Giovinazzi.
the problem. Christ, what's his first name?
I don't know.
Antonio.
Oh, there we go.
Gio Atzi. I think that's it. Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I really don't know this guy's name.
Oh, Jesus, I just threw up in my mouth.
That's my prediction.
Oh my God, no, Party. Antonio Gio the Nazi.
Yeah, we're not going to put that down in
Not gonna put
history.
I'll put Torpedo as well, please.
Yeah.
Daniel Torpedo Caveat.
Okay. I feel like, for a very obvious reason, you're cucking yourself here, but okay.
No, I'm not. Why? How? Explain to me what I've done wrong. What have I done wrong?
Just while I get a drink off my shelf.
Oh, I can't
Just-
put
just
Daniel
s-
Caveat that high
Just
up. can I?
see if you can see why.
I've got Renault. I've got the Alpha drivers. Well, have I? Yeah, I've got the Alpha drivers. I've got the McLaren drivers. I've got the Haas drivers.
Mm.
Got no Racing Point drivers.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Daniel Kvyat just performs outstandingly well.
No, it's locked in now, so this is.
No, it's not locked in. It's not locked in. Put go on. What Sergio? Can your dad pay for this, please, Perez?
Under Kvyat, yeah?
No,
Yeah, you're locked in.
no, I'm not locked in. Don't be dick.
Just because I prompted you.
No, don't lock me in. You're an arse.
Okay.
And then Daniel Kvyat. Yeah, just do it.
Oh, my mouse bloody died.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Technical music. I mean, that's not the technical music, but sure.
Well, it lasted, did it?
Well, no, I'm still not plugged in.
Oh.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Right. That's my one.
I will have him as well, please.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Actually,
Ooh.
yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna have to take your first answer.
No, well.
Yeah, I guess we got him.
You're struggling now with what you think.
Okay. So 3 drivers left.
I haven't put Stroll in, have I?
Nope.
Fuck's sake. Can you put Stroll in? He needs to go. He needs to go where Alexander is. So Stroll there, and then Alexander, yeah, underneath him, and then Stroll. I feel that you did. I feel that I said Stroll.
No. I mean, I'm
Lance.
typing these as soon as you're saying them. So that's
Okay,
literally
so
something that's not
Lance.
happened.
I'll PayPal it to you later, Stroll.
Okay. I don't know where that's coming from, but sure.
Lance, I've got all the money in the world, Stroll.
I mean,
Daddy's pretty girl, Stroll. That'll do. Alexander Albon, and then we'll have Broke Hand Man and the China Doll. Done.
Oh, fuck's sake. I'm not putting that.
Why not? That's what I said. Put it in there, or I'm not your friend anymore. Is he doing it? Oh, you're such a dick.
I'm not going to put that in there, for goodness sake.
You can put China Doll though, can't you?
I mean, I don't really know why it's...
He looks like a puppet.
Sure, why not?
He does. Next time you look at George Russell, he's got a hint of puppet about him.
China roll, no doll.
Little hint of China Doll, little hint of puppet.
Oh, that's who I'm missing.
Who are you missing?
That's going to have to do.
I feel we've missed something absolutely huge out of testing.
Okay, go ahead.
Hashtag, where's Ted?
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Completely missed it. Ted went missing, he came back, all's fine.
Okay, that's interesting thing. I didn't expect that.
What?
I've just copied and pasted the image and it came up with... The page you were on is trying to send you this.
What image?
Oh,
Hello.
that's very small. Oh, yeah,
Do you
that's...
just type in Ted?
Yeah.
I don't think my stream... Oh, they can see that.
No, I'm searching on a different screen.
Oh, no, you're definitely searching on the screen I'm looking at. This doesn't matter.
No, that image is.
Don't worry.
This
That's
is
already
actually the petition page that was done. 3,900 signatures. So you get Ted
3,000
Kravitz
signatures
back on Sky
to
Sports.
get him on. Bless him. Bless his little cottons. He's
So,
back though now.
sorry?
He's back now, though, isn't he?
I mean, he's been put on the list of people that are going to be on Sky this year, and he was... and he retweeted it. But he has still not made a proper tweet since the Haas launch, and that was his first one for months. He's not been at testing, which is unbelievable. Ted Kravitz is testing for me.
I reckon they cancelled his contract, realised that they will have a shitstorm on their hand if they cancel this size of shitstorm, if they cancel his contract, and then begrudgingly had to grovel at his knees and pay him obscene amounts of money to come back. And there was probably a clause in his contract when he departed F1 that he wasn't able to talk about it for a while.
Yeah, I think
Are you
that's the most likely. The other case is that there could be something in his personal life that's happened.
Sure, yeah.
Potentially,
we don't
that he just didn't want to, quite rightly talk about.
I
and
think it will be addressed when he first emerges.
yeah, I think the best thing that's come out of this for me is just everybody seeing the outpouring of love for this man. This man with the upturned umbrella, trying to do a terribly unscripted bit to camera with his little trusty notebook. I mean, This man is, for me, has been Formula One for 20 years. And he's this guy that, like all of us, is just a fan. He really does love Formula One, and he's not there as a presenter or an ex-driver, which is what everybody else is.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what he represents.
Yeah,
I mean, his notebooks are generally complete car crashes, but that is the point of them.
Like this podcast.
Oh, absolutely like this podcast. Let's get him on.
Get him! Oh my god, can you imagine? We've got Ted Kravitz on here. Firstly, why didn't you sign my autograph?
By the way, I'd just like to play this little clip from Rage in early 2019. Do you want to tell that little story or not really?
So at Goodwood last year, I had the opportunity to meet Ted Kravitz, and he was obviously in a rush to be somewhere, and he denied me the opportunity of a signature or / picture, and the way he denied it turned me off Ted Kravitz slightly. I'm putting it in those terms because I know there are people who really do like Ted Kravitz. So
that's not at all what you said when we were talking about this in our Twitter group.
And that's fine. You know, those words could be for our Twitter group, Jamie. I said very complimentary things about Jensen Button, okay? Why is this not being brought up? Don't you dare read them.
Because no one ever questions Jensen Button.
Don't you dare read what I put.
The one thing I haven't mentioned about Jensen Button, which, you know, he is my complete idol.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a sneaking suspicion him coming on board might have been the reason, if this is the reason, why they might have tried to strike Ted off.
Do you think?
Because he probably asked for an obscene amount of money.
Jensen for Ted.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one for me. That's my left leg or right leg.
Get rid of that bumbling sandals man. We don't need him.
Yeah. It's look, he's back. He's definitely going to be here. And I think you're right. I think we'll see some kind of explanation at some point. I've just missed his development corner.
His little insights.
More than anything. Yeah. Which is what our section is actually inspired from.
I guess
that we do from me personally. That's what I drew on. Humbrian, I find him more bubbly when he's festively plump. He has lost quite a bit of weight the last few years.
Fair enough.
But he is back. Okay, let's bring up the spreadsheet for the end of the podcast. Let's try and get that back into shot. There we go. So those are our 2019 predictions. And it's onward to Melbourne.
Yep.
2 weeks' time.
To Fox, I assume. We'll make that accessible for everyone if they want.
Yeah, maybe. There's a way.
Instant backtrack. Yeah, that could be accessible for everyone to look at.
I mean, I can definitely send it to Fox. I just need to make sure that nothing else from this... I use Google Sheets a lot, so
okay.
Make sure that nothing else is available.
You do click over one sheet, it just goes to Jamie's shopping. Oh,
I do have a 2019 shopping list on here, actually.
You have a shopping list?
Yeah, of stuff I want to get this year.
Fuck's sake.
And then little saving categories for what I've saved towards it.
Okay, well, we might replicate this. Fox might replicate this, and it might be accessible for everyone. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, no pressure, Fox. Obviously, you did that out of the kindness and
do it for us. There's a time limit this time.
So if you want to do that again, I will say, just as we're coming to the end of the podcast, I plan to do a video over the weekend and probably upload it on Monday for the upcoming Fantasy Formula 1, whatever it is, official Formula 1 Fantasy League that we will do again.
We'll be carrying it on. Yeah.
Yep. So I'll get a video.
Did the person claim the prize?
No.
But
So,
if you win, please claim the prize.
Yeah, Rodrigo, I'll do it again this year. I haven't actually gone through the original video to see if he put his YouTube in there, but it'll be a similar thing that if you post in the YouTube video so that I know at least which YouTube account you are, and then I can send you a message on there.
If you want to apply to do the Formula 1 Fantasy, you have to put some form of us to contact you if you win. I think that's got to be a thing in there, because we couldn't send the prize of the Formula Fantasy T-shirt winners T-shirts because he didn't come forward, which is great. It saves us money, but hey, someone didn't get their really rare and probably never to be worn merch.
Possibly not even was going to be made, but at least we would have had the option.
Had the option to get the cream in a can cup.
No, I might make it a bit more of a generic prize this year, just to make
Oh.
it easier. Well, we can
Okay.
design something, but I mean, we had
You'll
like
win
half a
this
year to
spoon.
design a T-shirt, and we didn't.
We didn't design it. Well, there were some rough designs, to be fair.
To be
There were
fair,
some
yeah,
designs.
and to be fair, Rodrigo, if you do come forward still, you are still watching the channel, then we will get something made and sent off to you. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. What was I going to say? Is there? I sent you some pictures. Is there space to do my meme of the week?
I'm not sure I'm going to have an overlay ready for it.
Oh no, not the overlays.
I mean, you can send me a meme, we can show it.
Oh, you got to use my meme sheet.
I haven't
then.
got literally any of that set up.
Oh, well, that's not very good.
You give me no warning on this.
Oh.
Literally, like, the next words were about to be, "That's been a lovely podcast," and then you're like, "Can we just do this thing that will probably take you 10 minutes to set up?"
No, it's fine. You know, I didn't want to show my meme of the week. It's fine.
Oh, for God's sake, go on.
No, you don't know. You can just pick up, show the memes. You can just show the memes.
Okay.
Fine. I've sent it to you on Facebook. Start from the top and go to the bottom. We will get the meme dashboard ready next time.
Yes.
There is a dashboard, and I made it. It's awful, but I think you might like it. So let me know when you're going to post it. And I'll say this is the first meme, as voted by nobody, and chosen by me.
Okay.
Classic meme. Classic
Meme number one.
Meme number one. I would say, and unfortunately you can't see, but it's actually rated out of Wah. So you know the noise. that
Look,
you
I'm
make.
sorry, I didn't.
It's fine. You know, I'm only
We
gonna
started
hold it
setting
against
this up
you for a
5
whole
minutes before we were supposed to start.
week. Maybe we did a little bit of preparation next time. Okay, so this one, I think it's a good meme. It didn't get me laughing. I had a slight chuckle. I think 3 boas out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4. It's a fairly decent
4
meme.
boas.
Yeah.
4 boa.
You know, I'm not
4
great
boas.
on the meme scale anyway, so.
Okay, right. 4 boas. 4 boas out of 10. It's not a great meme, but it's a meme nonetheless. Second meme.
Meme number 2.
Sorry. This gets me every time.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good meme.
it's very realistic and a great meme.
That's a good meme. That's gonna get 8. No, 8 boas out of 10 for me. It's a very good.
Yeah, it's a
meme.
solid 8 for me.
Solid meme.
There's
That
still
meme was
room for
dying,
improvement.
right? The Lewis is faster than you. Hey, Bottas, this is.
Yeah, we need a new one.
That was a brilliant meme format. That's good, innovative format with funny narrative. Top meme that.
This one.
And
This-
final meme.
I love this one.
Why would you make me laugh?
I see it now. I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, he literally is, isn't he?
He literally is.
All credit to Formula One fans Netherlands there.
Thank you very much, Formula One fans, Netherlands. Oh, that is the great. Oh, what's his name? It's the comedian's name.
Jeff Dunham.
That's Jeff
Or
Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, yeah.
I kill you. So, that's silence.
I mean,
No,
it is
it's George
haunting his
Russell.
face sometimes.
Puppet Russell.
When I say
That's the
sometimes,
page.
every picture, every press photo of him.
That was the first original press photo, so he's so happy in this photo. When he came out, everyone looked, oh, it's a new picture. Oh, it's George Russell. Oh, God!
They should do one afterwards if they can find a scary face of after the Williams came out. Or first day of testing.
9 boars! 9! 9 boars for me. That's brilliant. And
Yeah, it's a 9
Includes
for me.
my
We've got to
side
leave a
of
bit of
the-
wiggle room for improvement.
That concludes my side of the podcast. We ended
Oh
on
god,
high.
the overlay's gone all,
Oh
all
no!
Pete Tong.
Oh dear!
There we go. That's
Have we missed anything?
that'll do. I don't think so. Just a sort
Jamie,
of-
we've just about kept it within 2 hours.
I know it's
On
brilliant.
the dot. I know, right?
Welcome along, by the way, Sim.
Welcome.
I'm sorry that you've had to join a bit late, but this will be available as a VOD, and we should hopefully get a better scheduling for when the actual podcast starts. As to as an impromptu one.
Oh, I feel that if you watch to the end, you get that little surprise. And
Yeah, that
that's
little
worth
pop-up
it.
doll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get him cut out and have him as like a little moving thing that you can do a voiceover on. It's gonna have to be something I do at some point.
Oh, jeez.
This will be
great.
this. You know, we're just starting to sort of work out how we can do this. Hopefully, as we get into the season, we can have some have it all running smoothly and have some funny memes to go along with it. But yes, 2019, full of promise.
Next time we see you, we would have seen the first race. The next time we're on the Formula Fun podcast, we will know the true pace of the 2019 cars. Who will go round quicker? Who won't go round? Who will be on fire?
Hopefully, nobody, but
Hopefully none of them. But I can always dream.
yeah, I think if everything works as it should, and we see that increase in overtaking as well, that's a big thing we haven't talked about, the DRS as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
That
the bigger
changed
plane,
this year, yeah.
bigger gaps.
It could make it for a very, very exciting season. And there's a lot of talk. I'm remembering everything at the wrong moment. But there's a lot of talk that these Pirellis are really, really grainy. Mercedes saw a huge amount of grains in not very long runs. So, yeah, it could be a very spicy season if those Pirelli tyres are a little bit more volatile, the extra overtaking and the sort of unpredictability of some rule changes. We could be in for a cracker.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really do.
Same.
Formula One could do with a blockbuster year. All that is certain is that I am fishing right now. A man after your own heart there, Rage.
He's fishing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. Don't die. And, yeah, tight lines.
Catch a big one for us. Is Australia the true pace? It is usually a parade. Yeah, I mean, Australia is not a great track for discerning car pace because it's very unlike any other track, and it's a street circuit, so you really don't see the air effects of the cars that you do elsewhere. So it's a good point. But we will get our first indication anyway.
We
the
missed
rough
something
order.
else as well.
Go on.
I know I know we were trying to wrap it up, but new helmets. I mentioned this a while ago. They've got brand new helmet design, not actually designed, but manufactured brand new helmet specifications. So smaller letterbox, slightly different shape. So see if you can spot the new helmets. Are you getting anything up? I don't know.
That's I'm trying to.
I wasn't sure. Oh, back to Puppet Russell.
Oh Christ. It's not working very well. Luckily, none of you can see what's going on the stream, but
No, I've hidden it.
there we go.
Looks hideous, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what's the reasoning behind this?
Safety.
What, for the entry point into the helmet?
Yeah, why not? So it's smaller letterbox, because previously we had this bit of this carbon, weird extra strong carbon plated protection bit here, but they've integrated it now. That extra bit that was in essence the Massa letterbox, right? You know, where they brought this in after the Massa incident to stop the Massa thingy happen again, the spring that went through the visor and hurt Massa. And they've implemented a lot of the designs of this special letterbox into the whole helmet now. So it's meant to be like a fair bit stronger, and yeah, it's meant to just be a safer, better alternative to the previous helmets that they were using.
Okay, I mean, that can only be a good thing.
Innovation, yeah, innovation and safety. So it reduces the chances of concussion. It's probably a little bit of a knee jerk to the Bianchi thing. Not that a new helmet could have saved him, but it's along the same lines to the Halo, the more focus on head protection and the damaging effects of concussion and head-related injuries in motorsport.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing adverse that can be said about that. It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
They I thought don't they use a few different helmet suppliers still though?
I thought it was just Bell. To be fair,
I thought some use Humbert or Humbert still. I know. I'm pretty sure.
You mean? Hublot?
Yeah.
Hublot?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hulkenberg does.
Hubble Blobble. Are you sure that's not just a sponsor? Because Hublot, don't they make watches?
No, I don't think I'm thinking the same people.
Like Tag Heuer make engines, apparently. As far as I know, it's a standardised thing now. Brand new helmets. You're Googling
helmets, yeah. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Anyway, but yeah, good thing. Absolutely.
New helmet. Yeah.
Just a few comments from Sims before we get wrapped up. As just give him some comment time as he's just joined in. He hopes there'll be a good midfield fight between 4 or 6 teams: Haas, Alfa Romeo, Renault, and RP Force India. Yep, we were just saying that I would add McLaren to that list as well, and I think Toro Rosso will be on the tail end. I think we could be in for a great season of midfield running, battling. Thanks, Humrin. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. We will catch you later, and I hope you have fun fishing.
Good luck.
Sims, I know the Red Bull's helmets are white as a tribute for the Honda engine. Nice touch. Absolutely. And
what's that, sorry?
The Red Bull helmets are white as a tribute to the Honda engine.
Ah, that's nice.
It's nice of them. Let's see if they will still be tributing to it after 3 or 4 races. And Foxworth. So we got podcast, meme corner, interruption, then the helmet hour. Yeah, pretty much.
What was that? You broke up. What did you say?
So we got the podcast,
yeah,
then the meme corner interruption, and now the helmet hour.
Yes.
Absolutely, Fox. I'm sure we'll get many random and pointless sections added into this podcast as we go along, and hopefully some nice fancy graphics.
Meme section, the rate my meme was good. I
didn't say it was bad. I said it was a random section.
Well, you know, it's a section all the same.
Absolutely, it's got as much merit as anything else.
Yeah. Arguably, we should do it at the beginning.
Well, let's not get carried away now. We do want people to watch past 5 minutes. Though, to be honest, the way the internet's going, that would probably do better.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Well, that's the last testing Formula Fun podcast. These normally do quite well. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying this live. I'm definitely enjoying this live format a bit better.
It's a fun format, isn't it?
Yeah, and the fact we get to have some interaction with you as well. And hopefully once we get into the season and they're at regular dates, then you'll know when you can join in and have a discussion from the weekend's race. So let's just hope 2019, F1 2019, come on, produce the goods.
Produce the goods, definitely.
Be that season we want you to all be, because Formula 1 needs it right now.
I was going to say, you can find all the up-to-date information of when we'll be streaming and when the podcast will come out on the old Twitters, on the YouTubes, and our normal regular bits and pieces. So we don't normally say it, but share it if you want, watch it if you want, and enjoy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you after the Melbourne 2019 Formula 1 Grand Prix.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keep an eye out on Twitter. There'll be a lot of changes coming to the channel, and we'll be getting a proper schedule in place. And of course, the Formula 1 podcast will be a cornerstone of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and we'll catch you in Melbourne.
Good day, mate. I'm a kangaroo, you bastard.